How did a business permanently lose you as a customer? I had been a Wells Fargo account holder for 13 years. I started with a joint account with my parents as a teenager and later opened my own accounts and closed the joint account. My brother also had a joint account with my parents that he later closed when he opened his own account. He didn't really use his account with them and it was sitting empty. Fast forward to me being in law school and broke as a joke and my brother's account overdrawn. Because of some fees they were hitting it with, Wells Fargo decided to pull money from my almost empty account to cover my brother's overdrawn account. The only link between my account and his that we both, at some point in our lives, had joint accounts with my parents even though they were both now closed. Wells Fargo was wholly uninterested in listening to any sort of reason and repeatedly stated that this was their policy, despite the absurdity. My brother reimbursed me but I closed my account and have refused to do business with Wells Fargo on any level since. Vivid seats. I purchased a floor ticket for a concert and was sent a mezzanine second floor ticket and unfortunately didn't notice till I got to the concert. Obviously floor tickets were way more expensive than the ticket I received. Vivid Seats refused to refund me because the seller fulfilled my order. Apparently doesn't matter if you don't get what you pay for. I filed a chargeback with my credit card and just found out this morning that I won. I won't ever be using them again. Customer service was horrible. Last time I went to Panera it was $40 for two of us. My soup had no solids in it. My sandwich had a pitiful amount of ingredients. The employees were rude AF as if we inconvenienced them by walking in the door. Never again. Panera. AT&T. I had the weirdest situation. We had to transfer our landline to their new service but still AT&T to AT&T. It took over 21 days to get it working and I called them every single day. No joke. They would say the same stuff, "We'll reset the system." I decided to cancel it, then said, "Well, you need to pay for the cancellation fee." I'm like, "But you guys lagged so long that it made me cancel." Did not budge at all and said, "Well, you missed the deadline." Cancelled AT&T Internet, phone, cable. Cancelled AT&T Business Internet, phone. Cancelled AT&T Mobile. I understand I'm just a number and won't bring down their business, but you ain't getting another dime. Edit. Wow. Didn't realize the hate. I thought this only happened to me, lol. Love the stories, spent about half an hour reading it. I'm currently with Xfinity, Comast, which still gave me issues, but I'm not screwed that much yet. Kroger recently got accused of shoplifting while using the self-scan checkout when a bag of tortilla chips wouldn't ring up. I pressed the assistance needed option to ask for help to ring it up and the employee came over. Instead of just looking up the item for me, they sat for 5 minutes watching the video recording from the self-scan, then asked me, "So you're playing games, huh?" Quote, "Yes, I called you over specifically to help ring up an item I wanted to steal." Kroger never again. Auto Trader Online. Bought a car out of state and they never transported it. They also never handled the paperwork. Seller and I had to do it all ourselves. Weeks of phone calls with Auto Trader ending in, "We promise." Doing that now. Just shipped. You should hear from them within X hours. 2 months. Nothing. Never again Auto Trader. I don't believe your lies. Thank goodness seller was a decent human. Metronet came to my area. Fuck you, Spectrum. PayPal. I ran a small business once, and one crazy customer tried to scam us claiming the product was defective. Did a chargeback. Never returned the product back. PayPal refused to work with us, even though we provided all the documentation. Froze our funds and sent a collection agency after us. We lost $2,500 to them. went out of business shortly after. PayPal is a nightmare for sellers. There are plenty of horror stories out there. I haven't used PayPal for 10 years now. I owned a 2000 Dodge Caravan. Dodge will never get another dime of my money. Hertz. For claiming their cars were stolen and then getting warrants placed on said car renters. Rent-A-Car has the most insane policies ever, and people with the mental capacity of a saltine cracker working in the customer service department. Never again. I'll walk to a Dick's Sporting Goods and buy myself a pair of skate to get where I want to go before ever renting a car from them again. Me and my partner used to go to this one diner all the time before we moved. Really good food and good service. After moving back to the area, we decided to get a meal. We were seated, and then waited. A random busboy saw us looking, not served, so he brought us water. We saw one waitress and she was on the phone. After a couple more minutes, the same busboy saw us looking confused and told us that the woman on the phone was our waitress. We were like, oh okay. After a couple more minutes, the busboy went over to the waitress and we heard him tell her that she had customers. 5 more minutes went by. She didn't even glance in our direction. And we got up and left. Since then we've never felt like going back, and we used to eat there all the time. Not my story, but when I was working at Taco Bell, a man called us to say that we didn't add sour cream to his item. He said, "You mark this day on your calendar because I am never coming back." Taco Bell has never recovered from him leaving. RIP. Back in the day, I wanted to buy the Chrono Trigger port for DS, so I went to the local mom and pop game store. When I asked for it, the clerk laughed at me for even asking it because there's no way I would find one in town without a pre-order. Left that store and went to Walmart, and they were fully stocked. I went back and showed it to him and told him he's an idiot and that he had lost a customer for treating me like an idiot. T-Mobile deleted voicemails from my deceased mom and wouldn't recover them for me. A Quiznos manager aggressively hit on my wife. When the Utah legislature was considering raising the alcohol limit of beer for sale on tap and in grocery stores to be in line with the rest of the country, Red Rock Brewing spoke out against the increase. The owner essentially said his patrons couldn't be trusted with the increase and would overconsume if the limit was raised from 3.2% ABW to 5% ABV. This brewery had multiple bottles beers well above that, 810% ABV. Since I can't be trusted to understand how much I can drink, he can't be trusted with my money anymore. Red Rock had some great beers, but I avoid them specifically because their owner is a complete idiot. One local bank was bought out by a bigger bank. They upped the minimum balance, so I went to close my account. I believed the account was closed when I left. Instead of closing my account, they simply emptied it when they paid me. Because they didn't actually close the account, I was paid a small amount of interest. The following month I received a statement showing interest was paid, less than $1. And because I was below the minimum balance, they hit me with a fee. Then because the fee was larger than the amount in the account, they hit me with a fee for being overdrawn on an account I closed. This happened for 3 more months. The first time I went back to the bank, I was nice, believing it to be a simple mistake that could easily be fixed. The next month I went back, I was very stern. Finally, the last month I raised absolute hell, shouting loudly in the bank and explaining to them that I was filing a complaint with my state's Attorney General office and federal banking regulators. I am an easygoing guy, but I'm not afraid to be an asshole when pushed too far. I ordered carryout from a French restaurant in Pittsburgh early in the pandemic. The order was around $120. I gave them my PayPal debit card number. When I got to the restaurant, I added a bottle of water, which changed the amount I owed to, say, $127. So they processed the 2 orders for a total of $247, which I did not realize until sometime the next week. It took over a month to get my first $120 returned to me. The owner of the shop could not have been any nastier, saying it was my fault. Never have I ever gone back there. Got an impromptu craving for ice cream, so turned into DQ. Took forever, and then when I was at the window I watched my ice cream sitting there melting while the manager was straight up berating and cursing the other employees out. No thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.